Hello, 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 Crossroads witches and other interesting magical beings. Ooh, we are on part 5 in a 9-part series on Let's Start a Coven. I have taken it and broken it down into these different topics. For folks out there, I want to inspire, empower, encourage, all those things that you too can start a coven if you feel the calling. And now that you felt the calling, what are you supposed to do? Start with part 1. That's my suggestion. And get yourself some background knowledge on it. Start working it. And with that, we're going to talk about, like I said, this part 5, gatekeeping. Ooh, that's a really big word, isn't it? For many of us, it's a very negative connotation of their gatekeeping. And for others, it's like, the gods gatekeep, why can't I? And both are true, all right? There's good gatekeeping, there's bad gatekeeping. And also there is the opening of gates, the keeping of gates by, the gods and goddesses. I'm going to say, Hecate is about crossroads, and for many of us going into the crossroads, she is the gatekeeper. She tells us if we are welcome in that realm. Very often that for us within Conjure, within Hoodoo, Southern folk magic is Papa Legba, and when we are lighting our first candle, doing our first welcoming, it is to Papa Legba. If Papa Legba wants us to, or allows us to come in, then we can go in and experience the rest of the evening. It's very common in different cemeteries, graveyards, also have gatekeepers, all right? Where you want to give honor to the gatekeeper before you go into the cemetery. So there is, gatekeeping is going on. You need permission to go places. Now, in your coven, you're the gatekeeper. You're in charge. Remember we said now that first year and a day is really about setting a solid foundation. Somebody's in charge. It's you. You're the gatekeeper. You want your group, your coven, your grove, your circle, your magical moment. All right? You got to gatekeep it. You got to keep it safe. You got to make sure people that have the same expectations that you have are coming into space. People that want to experience the same magical flow. All right. This is where if you're doing, one type of magic, other folks probably aren't going to be interested in it. And that's okay. First, you cannot make everyone happy. It isn't about pleasing everyone. This isn't about a space where everybody gets to do whatever they want. That's called chaos. It's not going to last very long. This is a space that you're sitting up about everybody's respectful of each other. All right. And making sure that you have people in your space that are respectful of each other. I'm going to talk a little bit for us within the House of Witchcraft. One of the things that we ask is that your physical life be in a place where you are safe and secure and you can comfortably explore and experience your spirituality. All right? It's not about so-and-so's credit score if so-and-so owns a house, how much so-and-so makes, or nothing like that. It is asking that your physical space, your physical realm is in an order where you feel safe and secure in it. All right? Because if you don't feel safe and secure, that's what you're going to be worried about. Y'all are following me. So it's going to be hard for you to have that magical, mystical, spiritual experience. And this is something that I've talked with some folks where they're, in the middle of some messy life stuff going on. And I'm like, get the messy life stuff straight and then come in. All right. I know a lot of times people are in the middle of their messy life, they're looking for something. A coven is not what they need at all. Believe me. Just, they may feel like this is going to be a place where I'm going to get new friends, get a new life. I'm going to leave my old one behind. Well, they need to fix the old one before they welcome the new one. When I counsel, when I talk with folks and which want to get involved in the house where we know that it's not the time right now. All right. It's not that, no, you can't ever join. No, you can never come. But right now is not a good time. All right. And it's a difficult conversation to have with someone. And you need to probably read a little bit of group psychology, group therapy, learn how to say things positively. This is never about hurting, demeaning, or making anyone feel like somehow they weren't good enough, all right? Because that's not what this is about. This is recognizing that in this moment, this person is not in a safe and secure place where they can explore their magic and their spiritual connections. And that you've got to step up and politely, carefully, gently say that out loud to them. All right? That is what gatekeeping is you have to stand up and speak to the person. You do not ghost people. You do not wait till they leave the room and tell everybody what a shit of a person you think they are. All right? That's horrible, horrific. Your group is going to go nowhere. Nobody wants to be around you. All right? Because if somebody's sitting there talking bad about people, and then I'm thinking, well, when I leave the room, what are they going to say about me? When you are the leader, the facilitator, whatever, coordinator, event planner, future high priest, high priestess person, all right? Act accordingly. You do not badmouth people to other people, regardless of what you're thinking inside, okay? We speak gentle at all times. And if we have to tell somebody that they're not quite where we feel like you're going to be a good match for us, you do it as gentle as possible so that that person leaves space feeling okay about themselves, all right? That's my first really big thing when I think about it, because I've, over the years, some stories of what people have said. They'll be like, just mean stuff. And that's not setting a good, healthy foundation for your coven, period. And there are other things that you have to decide acceptable behaviors. We do not allow the use of drugs. Yes, we get high, but we don't allow the use of those chemical drugs, okay? I'm all about the experience and the out-of-the-body experiences in a safe, insane, responsible way. Showing up coked out of your head and drinking a fifth of vodka. Do you think this person's ready for a mystical, magical, spiritual experience? Probably not. Probably not good people that you need to have around your group, okay? And that is gatekeeping. You're going to say, no, we don't tolerate this behavior. We don't allow hard drugs in this group. Get drunk a couple of times, and I'm going to tell you that this is not appropriate behavior, or that potentially you need to go find a group that does that, all right? We're not a drunk party fest. If that's what you're coming for, not a good fit for us. If you do drink a couple of glasses of wine for the evening because, we all in our responsible, safe, sane behaviors, all right? Whereas you also may decide you don't want any alcohol for the evening. If they want to come and participate, you're having an alcohol-free evening. And if that is your rule, then you have to enforce it. Your group, you're in charge, your gate to keep. Just as Hecate is the keeper of the crossroads, the keeper of keys that gives access, so too are you. And don't let it go to your head. It doesn't mean people have to fill out a report and you decide if they're worthy or not. You don't get to decide that part. What you decide is where their life is. Is it in a good, positive, safe, secure place where they can come in? I don't have to like you. I don't have to agree with you. Okay? And another thing, that was part of the, I had a discussion with one of our members who is that, she doesn't really like one of the other members. Nothing personal, personality clashes. And you're not going to like everybody. Not everybody coming into your group is going to be your new best friend. Okay? Nor should they be. If that's what you're looking for, you're trying to create a cult of like-minded people that will all worship you. No. Okay? This is about having a dynamic group of people with diverse thoughts and interests and magic. And you are giving a space for that. Again, I do like everybody, just so y'all know. I don't want to put that out there. People are like, Taren says don't like everybody in the group. What I'm saying is that you don't have to be best friends. You don't have to kumbaya with everyone. But more importantly, it's not about do I like people, it's about do I respect you. And if I respect where you're at and what you're doing, I'm good. I don't have to agree or disagree, nothing, but do I respect you? And that's how you have to look at your potential folks coming in. And I know if somebody's going to reach out and be like, I want to come to your group. And you're like, oh, we have a new person. It's so excited. The new person comes out and you were like, red flag, red flag. And you're like, but it's somebody who's coming to my group. Red flag, red flag, red flag. Oh, but maybe we can work it out. Red flag, red flag, red flag. Oh, I don't know why my group's imploding. I don't know how many damn red flags did you have to see that this person was not ready and capable? And instead you made excuses for him. Instead you justified on what you were doing. You put qualifiers on it. You were going to fix them. We're going to make it better. None of that's going to happen. Your group will implode and explode. It'll be like boom, boom. And folks won't be liking each other. Why? Guess who wasn't being the gatekeeper that said that they were going to be the gatekeeper? All right? You. You're the one that is in charge of bringing these people together. And the people that are in your group, you have given yours a responsibility to the well-being of these people. You are partially responsible at this point for their magical and spiritual well-being. Yeah, big words, I know. I also know you can do it, okay? Honesty. Being real with yourself, paying attention to those red flags. It is much better to have a group of 4 people who are all leaning in, all doing well, all getting along. And you go out there and you dance and you create magic versus having a group of 14 people that have factions in it, people who don't like people who are texting bitchy messages back and forth, and then y'all somehow are going to dance around the bonfire together and create magic? Huh. Do you honestly believe you can do that? No. Back to implode, explode, ain't nobody gonna like nobody. All right? And I am getting a little tough, and I know I'm getting animated on it because I just need you to understand the importance of this. This will make or break you. This will determine how successful your group is. It is nice to say everyone's welcome. I even say it. Everyone's welcome. Come, come, come. But the underlying factor is, no, not everyone's welcome. And I have to be aware that if somebody has something going on, all right, then I'm the gatekeeper. I need to go handle this situation, and I need to do it face to face, and I need to use my words. I need to have the strength to stand in front of somebody. And as I spoke earlier, all those other words about gentle kindness, it's not about demeaning or ever hurting anyone. But to be able to tactfully, politically correctly tell someone that right now, this isn't a good space for you. All right? And to hold that. And it is very hard. And I get it. I mean, when young high priestess first couple of years, yeah, I got trampled on a couple of times. And yes, I, dealt with the consequences of that and wondering why we now had these bitchy factions in the group and realizing that maybe that person should not be here. And now I've got to do something about it, okay? Those red flags, when they go off, you can't justify them. Those red flags, when they go off, you cannot fix anyone. Just you. You cannot fix anyone. Just you. Understand how important this is. As witches, we love nothing more than to fix something, heal it, make it better. We can do it. And we're really good at it. Okay? But we can't do this with these folks that don't want to be healed, changed, and all these other things with it. All right? And of course, there's obviously going to be the no-brainers. Yeah, I mean, where you don't allow people who come into your group in which steal. If somebody came into the group and stole some items, you wouldn't allow them back. You'd be, oh no, they took these items. That same is what they're doing in other areas. It may not be physical items, but they are stealing magic. They're stealing experiences from other people. Don't let them do it. And you have some folks, unconscious psychic vampires. They're like such good intentions. I don't think it's purposeful, is some of these folks. Learning to identify that, all right? Some folks are looking for a guru. They're looking for someone to tell them what to do. You don't want those people, all right? You need good, healthy people that are really about their experiences, their journey, all right? And are looking to explore it in a group atmosphere. And that doesn't mean that, newbies, I don't know anything about witchcraft and I've always wanted to be a witch. That's an honest innocence. We can all work with that, I'd rather have somebody tell me that than somebody who's like, oh, I've read all these books. And I'm just like, oh, we have to get this out of their brain, And making sure that you are bringing in folks that are like-minded. And that's a very statement. Like I said earlier, I don't have to like everybody, but I damn sure need to respect you, okay? But that there is a commonality there. People who are willing to play by good playground rules. People who are willing to be the part of the building of this magical tradition that you're creating, all right? And careful with egos and people who come in. And this is something also I want to talk about with gatekeeping is if somebody comes up, oh, I'm the high priestess of blah, 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 stars and light tradition and everything. And I feel I should be treated as the high priestess. So you're not a high priestess in my group. As if I would go to someone else's group. I'm not a high priestess in their group. I'm not part of their tradition, all right? I didn't go through their system. I don't know how they do things. I am, at best, a first year sort of dedicate, maybe first degree type knowledge type thing when I go someplace else. I obviously have a working idea of what's going on, but I don't know that tradition. I am not a high priestess within that tradition, nor should I expect to be treated any differently than anyone else going into that group. And if you have someone coming in that tells you that they're a high priestess of this, and this, gently remind them they are not a high priestess of your tradition, of this circle, your magic, all right? You have people come in and be like, oh, I'm an elder, listen to me, you know, and to begin with, it's a little intimidating because you're thinking, oh my God, they have more experience than I do. They know what's going on, blah, blah, blah. You have all these reasons why you're thinking, let's listen to him. Well, honey, if he had all that experience, all that knowledge, and he's so freaking amazing, why doesn't he already have his own group? Why don't they already have their own stuff going on? Why are they coming to your stuff and trying to take it over? Uh-huh. Now that you say it like that, it looks a little different, don't it? Gatekeeping. That's what you're about. And when someone does that, you're like, no. All right, I've had people who come into the house. And if you join the house, you start at the beginning, you're in a day, and you go through it all, and you slowly go through ours and everything else. And if they try to get past life credits, past magical credits, or anything like that, I'm like, no. And I know immediately this person is not going to be hanging out, because it's not about leaning in and keeping the magic going in this tradition. For us, it's the next generation, who we leave our magic to. This person is all about trying to acquire magic, trying to bring it in, and they're going to come and take yours. That's what they're about. All right? Call a spade a spade. And I don't care how many fancy titles it has. I don't care what circle it stood in. I don't care who they're best friends with. They're not part of your group. This is your group, your tradition. Let's start a coven, and we're doing it this way. You've already gotten the flavor. We discussed that a couple of videos ago about what type of magic are you wanting to create here. Are y'all into kitchen witchery? Are y'all arts and crafts witches? Are you hedge witches? Do you lean toward a ceremonial side of witchery? All right? Are you wanting to have divination every time you come together at a full moon? Or is that something you really don't do? Those are your rules. Do not let anyone sideline you. And damn sure do not look at the bright and sparkly of, oh my God, look at their fancy robes. Oh my God, he has a title. You know, they must know more than I do. No, they don't know more than you do about you, your circle, your tradition, your magic. Don't let anybody take it away from you. Be mindful, witches. Be mindful. Now, these are my notes on gatekeeping, all right? And that gatekeeping is a good thing for the most part. And yes, there are some negative sides to it. We all know about those. I'm not going to get into it. We're talking about within a coven, how important it is, and recognizing the fact that many of our gods and goddesses are gatekeepers, and that you're a gatekeeper too. When you have space, circle, coven, facilitate, you're a gatekeeper. And you can do it in a good, healthy way that ensures the safety and the well-being of the folks that come to your space. I hope you liked that, enjoyed it and everything else. I know I was sitting here when I was doing my notes. I was like, oh, I'm going to rant on this one. I have just seen too many groups, folks, over the years where they just couldn't say no. Oh, but I didn't know how to tell them. I thought maybe if they came back, it would be different. I have heard it, and I'm just like, sweetie, you got to be able to tell someone, no, not right now. It doesn't mean in a year from now, all right? But not right now is how I like to phrase it to folks. And there's a group out there for everyone. This just ain't your group. That's all it is, you know? And you're realizing that. And you keep this steady energy. You keep that lighthouse shining. And I guarantee the folks in which need to be in your space, they're going to come. And they're going to appreciate, they're going to respect, they're going to be so happy that you're a gatekeeper. Because you're keeping your space safe for folks. That's what it means. So let's talk about, yes, we invite everybody, but no, we really don't. That's the realm you stand in. And with that said, witches, I'm going to tell you, get out there, fly y'all's brooms. Have a bright, blessed day. And as always, amen, blessed be, ashe, and a bobo.